new. I mean, we're trying something new having Amanda here, just so everyone knows. Amanda hopefully will join us more Fridays than not. We're trying to give it a little flavor there. We've heard from so many people that they love when she comes on, either the after shows or on Live. But we're going to try something else new. And we're going to have Guy Frydenlund from Sqwerv on. Why don't we just pop him in, and then I can do the thing.
Hop him in.
Yeah, well, let me do the whole thing so I can
do the whole
make
thing,
us
Kev.
look professional. Oh, right. How we doing, Guy?
Hello, doing good. How are you guys?
What's going on?
Fantastic. Came across, I find a lot of my music, people post something, they're like, check this band out. I checked you guys out, and I was like, my God, I love this. It isn't the a lot of jam bands tend to go down the Dopapod Papadisio Disco Biscuits route these days. I feel like you've gone a little bit the other way. Welcome. How you doing?
Hey, thanks so much. I'm glad to be here. Nice to meet y'all. It's Kevin.
Is that fair? Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah. Can I make sure I get all your names real quick? I know Kevin. I know we connected. And
right, Kevin, that's T up there in the corner.
And
that's Amanda, who was my co-host on All That Jam.
Hello.
Awesome. Hey, Amanda.
Hey there.
Fantastic. So let me get why don't we start with the origin story, and then we'll get a little bit about your approach to studio set lists, things like that. CU Denver, is that the epicenter of the band?
Yep. Yeah, it's CU Denver, which is not far down the street from me. I'm not sure where you guys are located.
Amanda's not far down the street from you.
I live in Denver, got my Boulder Roots Festival hoodie
cool.
on from just a couple weeks ago. Yep. Love you guys. Seen you a bunch.
And T and I are balancing. He's on the left coast. I'm on the right coast.
Nice.
I'm in LA. Kev's in Baltimore. I actually grew up in Denver, though. So that's funny.
Cool,
right, we're
awesome.
Denver. I had some friends that went there, actually.
Yeah, cool. It's a great school. Three of us went there. Me, Caden, and Zach, who are our bass and drummer. We went to school there for different instrumental focuses, and so we all went to the music school there, met through a myriad of ways, but ended up like kind of playing together at open jams. We originally had a different band formation way back then, but long story short, we all ended up in a band together coming out of school. And then our keys player, he went to CU Boulder, that's Jack, and he hit us up because he was like, hey, you guys don't have a keys player, do you want one? And that was like always our dream. So we were like, yeah, please come play with us. And then now it's just the 4-piece and we've been going with this arrangement for about 5 years. Like just about COVID time was when we really dove into this setup. So
tight sound. And you guys a lot of practicing, I'm assuming. I feel like you guys really are reading each other in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, we are pretty adamant about it. We've always been on a 2 to 3 time a week schedule. It used to be always like, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday. We'd just do like 6 or 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. when everybody was off work, and try to stick to that pretty rigidly. We've now recently moved into trying out daytime practices as our work schedules and touring schedules is changing, where, taking after our heroes, we're trying to do like the 11 to 4 practice. Like we just did that yesterday. I mean, we just got back from a month-long tour and just went right back to it and got back in there from 11 to 4 because we have a big show coming up tomorrow. But yeah, we definitely try and practice a lot. I always wish we could practice more. It's like we all live together, so it helps a lot. But yeah.
Well, and you all, I mean, that work ethic, you all put out a lot of albums in a span of just a couple of years, several live albums, studio albums. You were touring nationally. I mean, everybody's got to be on board, to be able to do that kind of thing. So I would imagine that you all are pretty, connected in terms of goals and how you want to approach this. Did you get all of that material together? Was it things that you had kind of ready to go, or like, because I was really impressed by that.
Oh, well, thank you. It was definitely a plan and a goal of ours to like the beginning of last year, 2024, we kind of set that intention of we want to put out 2 records this year. The live stuff comes a little easier because it's like, we're playing so many shows, it's just like choosing which ones we want to be able to put out. If we happen to play some good enough shows that we're like, okay, we can release these a little more publicly. Granted, all of our shows are like always available because we record every one, but just for ones that we like promote basically. But yeah, we write a lot of music. Like we have, I don't know, somewhere around like 70 to 80 original tunes in our catalog. And like, that's, only like maybe a half of it is really recorded at this point. And then we're constantly writing more. So it's kind of like playing catch up. Last year we basically we're like, all right, let's record this batch of songs in the studio. Let's record this batch of songs at our house. So we did one in our house and one at like a real studio. And they both had very different approaches and different styles. But it was all, that was just kind of our intention with that. And then meanwhile, we were like, we want to tour around them and kind of just constantly being able to provide something for our fans and really to work on for ourselves is pretty important to us. It can be a lot, like it can be kind of stressful. Like we just got back from a month-long run, did 20 shows in October, and now we're recording our next record this month. So we're trying to get the next one out, and we just put out our 2025 record at the beginning of this tour. So we just
the Wonder EP.
Wonder.
Yeah. I really feel like, do you guys try to do everything different? If you listen to Waze and you listen to Mirage, you can hear the growth, sort of the templates, I guess, sort of similar, but then the Whores Divorce that you did last year seems like it's completely different from Mirage.
Yep. Yeah, that was the whole idea between or behind Hors d'oeuvres was basically we'd been listening to a lot of like the kind of modern psych bands like Krungbin and like Glass Beams and Arc de Soleil and people like that. And we were like, we have a lot of like riff ideas that we really like, but don't know where they fit into full songs. Like, let's just take really simple ideas, record them live in our living room and try and capture some of that energy. And they don't need to be like 10-minute composed songs, but let's really try and create something different where it's just bite-sized little musical things. And we wanted to have stuff live too that we could play that would be shorter songs between like our longer extended jams. We're like, we want to have breathers for ourselves and for our audience members too. So
your first album opens up with a short little instrumental. You kind of do that.
Which are you talking about Waze or Seed?
Yeah, Waze.
Yeah, so that's kind of been that was just an improvised thing in the studio. That along with Seed, which is Seed on our first album, we kind of were following that trend, which is just like those were just warm up things we did in the studio. And we were like, hey, we really like this. Let's open the album with that.
It's fantastic.
That's cool. I gotta say, you ate my Fractal team over on Volume said, yeah, Guy, great friends with his brother's band Chirp in Ann Arbor.
Oh, nice. Heck yeah. Yeah, my brother plays in a decently similar band. They're kind of in the jam scene. They're also a little in the funk, like progressive rock scene. Nice. Yeah, my brother Jay does the same thing, singer and guitarist for their band as well.
Nice. Do you not like the jam band label?
Do I not like it? No, I have no problem with it at all. I love the jam community and the jam scene. It's just a funny thing that gets thrown around, and like it's sort of nebulous to talk about, but it's fun to kind of play with it a little bit. So.
Well, we asked Alan Evans about it. He's like, I don't care if they're buying a ticket. You can call me whatever you want.
And Zach from Great Boy All Stars was like, you all paid for, our mortgages, rent for however many years. But I agree, it's become something that is so, just like you said, nebulous. It's big. It encompasses so many things that sometimes I actually do wonder if maybe the original intent way back when has been lost because of just the nature of what it is, right? I mean, there's all these different buckets. But I love, because I know that you all had a reel that you had posted online where said we're not a jam band, and it was a good reminder. We can have all the influences, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to see ourselves in exactly that same way, because you also have combined Fish and some classical music. I saw some videos of that. I mean, and it probably feels better to maybe not be tied to one thing, I would think.
Yeah. We just call ourselves Everything Rock now. That's what we're going with. We were going with indie jam band for a while, and then we were like, we play everything, and we're just going by Everything Rock now, and we'll probably be something else in 5 years eventually, because we were saying we're not a jam band. Soon we'll just be like, we're not a band. We're just four guys, you know.
Right. Well, there's a band that we love out of St. Louis who they will put out a notepad at their shows. They call themselves Dystopian Jam Band, but they ask people to provide a label based on what they think they're hearing.
Yeah. God, I love Syracuse. They're the only band I had ever heard cover a David the Twin Peaks. I can't say that guy's name, Adrian, whoever's songs until David Lynch died. Then a couple people popped up with one, but they've been doing Audrey's Dance for years, and so spooky, so cool to hear them do that, and because the room gets quiet and stops moving.
It totally does.
They're good guys. We used to jam with their keyboard player way back when.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah. They were out here. They played Herman's Hideaway a couple years ago, which was one of the best shows I've seen from them. I was so stoked that they were here.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
How do you approach songwriting?
So for me personally, we all do a bit of writing besides Zach on his own. Like our drummer, he is a big part of the collaborative songwriting process when we're writing songs as a group. But I started off as a singer-songwriter just with my acoustic guitar. That's what I went to school for at CU Denver, actually. It was like singer-songwriter and composition, although the composition was a little less rigid, not super classical or anything like that. So generally speaking, I write harmony on my guitar first, and am just like really inspired by the music first, and I'll kind of just play around on my guitar until something really strikes me, and then I'm like, oh, I really like this, and then I'll maybe hopefully be inspired with the melody, and then I fit in words with that is like kind of my, if I were to have to break it down into like a functional process, that's kind of how it happens a lot of the time. Sometimes it's not that. Sometimes we're jamming as a group and we all come up with something, and then we'll work together off of that riff or that chord progression or that melody or something along those lines. But typically speaking, one of us will write a song, write the skeleton, chords, and the form and the lyrics, and then bring it to the band, and the other band members will create their own parts. So everybody gets to write their own part and have their own kind of creative expression, which I think has always been a really big part of Sqwerv. And other times there's a few songs now where it's like they're completely composed by the writer. Like they want the bass part to be this, they want the drum part to be this, they want the harmonies to be this during this, this section and that section. So there's songs that we do have that one person just wrote pretty much completely, but in general, it's a very collaborative process for us. So, yeah.
There you go. All right,
Where did the name Sqwerv come from?
It's a long story involving hot dogs and waterfalls in Norway, and
all right,
it takes me a little bit to discuss, but I'll save that for another time. I promise.
I love it. That's great. That's like I always like to ask because it always is unexpected. Like the best was like Space Bacon, and they had a really good backstory to the whole thing, and I was like, oh well, that's so much better than what I was thinking Space Bacon came from. I thought it was like two words. Yeah,
it's the opposite, right? There's an Australian band I've loved forever called Sex on Toast, and I asked the lead singer, one time, well, where'd the name come from? And he goes, I was in 7th grade, and I wish I could change it, but they had this one song that people know them for. And he's like, so that's what it is. I go,
so just stuck. See, it's always fascinating. I love hearing the origin stories of those because you never know. And this sounds great. Hot dogs and waterfalls in Norway. I'm all
absolutely.
I'll have to hear this.
That's a short way to describe it.
T, what about poor Uncle Kunkel? They're like, I mispronounced these poor people's names. We're actually doing something with them Saturday, but I called him Uncle Knuckle, and they're like, we should probably change it to that because everyone says it. And they're like, every time we make T-shirts, we're like, should we change the band's name?
Well, that's the other thing. If it's like too confusing or too hard, then people just say another, and you're like, well, that's not really the name, but everyone seems to say that because they can't because it's so weird. So whatever gets people talking though, and gets people to into you is worse. You know, it's all marketing.
Yeah, just being
I
able to sell it is a win for people. For us,
There you go. Yeah, right.
I will call I call like studio stuff, LPs, whatever, the artifact. It's where a song is in the moment. You record it, you lay it down, it's stuck forever there. Playing it live, it's a breathing thing. How do you approach taking the studio stuff and translating it live?
Well, to be honest with you, we normally work in reverse. So we have to make live stuff work for the studio.
Okay.
We typically will play songs in practice, really like the way it feels, and be like, oh, we can't wait to play this live. And we play most of our stuff live before it ever gets recorded. That's kind of what I was getting at with the catch up thing, is like we've played some of these songs even on Wonder for 2 or 3 years, you know. So like for our next record, we kind of might want to try playing some songs that people don't already know, because our fans listen to a good bit of our live shows now, and like getting to show brand new material, which in one sense it might not have had its time to develop live, and you might not get, you know, some new ideas that you'd get only by playing it live. But at the same time, it'll just be a different approach, and it'll give people something completely fresh to listen to, including ourselves. It'll kind of be cool to debut songs that way. So
Good answer. Good answer.
well, it's a good question.
Are we playing tonight, or are you off on Halloween?
We're off tonight. We're playing tomorrow. We're opening up for Eggy at Cervantes here in Denver.
Nice.
So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, pretty excited for that. They're real good dudes, and we've opened for them before, like a couple years ago on the other side, and now they're, you know, doing 2 nights at the Ballroom here in Denver, which is like huge, and they already sold out tonight, which we'll be going to that show because they're playing with Chalk Dinosaur too, if you've heard of them.
Oh,
John
yes.
John O'Hallahan, right?
We love Chalk Dinosaur.
Is that John? Is that his name?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, John O'Hallahan or John Hallahan.
Nice.
Sorry,
Haven't met him
John.
yet. Love the music though.
Oh, fantastic! And they're doing something with the horse at the airport.
The Ballad of Lucifer, they're calling it. Which, do you guys know about the horse story?
They do. I just know from every cab driver telling me about it when I
Yeah,
drive.
yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
You get it. Yeah, excited to see what it's all about. We'll be there tonight.
Yeah. Denim can be rough, man. Wearing a bunch of denim. Whew.
Yeah, we're doing pilots tomorrow.
I hate when that happens. So, but you do have some stuff coming up for the end of the year, right? You got a couple big shows, hometown Colorado things, and then New Year's lined up.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it'll be okay if I say this now. I don't think anybody's going to be upset with me, but technically, we're not announcing it till next week. But we're playing Meow Wolf in Denver,
Excellent.
December 27th, which is super exciting.
Where's the breaking news? Damn it.
Yeah. And then, you know, we're playing Old Town Pub up in Steamboat, which is like a place we've been trying to play for a long time.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. And
That's a good spot.
Shakedown Bar in Vail, and we're doing the Eldo in Crested Butte for New Year's. So we're doing a real Colorado finish out for the year.
A little mountain run. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Keeping it close so we can focus on recording over these next 2 months. And then next year, beginning of next year, we're going West Coast. We're doing like the full Pacific Northwest and all the way down through California and Arizona and stuff. So
it's tough, man. It's tough out on the road, isn't it? You said you just got off for a month. So many bands we talk to that are either like, we don't even want to do it. You can't even break even, or, you know, it's just, it wears on them. Like our man from Eggy, Mike had to step back for a little bit because it got to be a little too much, and good for him for doing that. If anybody needs to step back.
Yeah, exactly.
So, is it tough out there? I mean, what are your thoughts on just being on the road? I know you must love it in order to do it. It must be the passion, you know.
We love it. Well, I mean, just speaking for myself, I love it more than anything else. Just like playing live and being part of the show experience. But being on the road, you add like all the other crap in to the mix, and we all love it. We all have done a really, really good job. I mean, just on our last 2 shows, we were all like sitting around because we finally had a little bit of a green room. Like for where we're at as a band, we play such a mix of venues. Like we'll play a bar with no green room and a tiny little stage that, you know, we load in on, and sound guy doesn't give a shit, barely even showed up or whatever. And then we'll play places like Sqwerv's where, like, you know, you have a team there to help you and people that really care about the music. And we're just at that point where when we play in different places around the country, you never know what you're going to get. So that can make it a little extra taxing, I think, because we load in and load out all of our gear every night, and we're insane. Like we travel with a Leslie and a Hammond and all analog gear. We're not digital. It pays off when you're on stage and playing. You know, we have such a ridiculously stupid setup, but it's awesome when you get to set up and play with it. So,
well, one of the heaviest instruments on the earth is the Hammond organ.
Right.
Yeah.
I hope I know you hate it when you pull up to the venue and they're like, the stage is on the second floor.
Yep.
There's stairs.
Yep, exactly. So all those factors, you know, that play into it, and like energy of each show being so different. It's just such a mixed bag of emotions on the road. But the one thing that is consistent is once we start playing, like, and we just get to do the thing we love to do with each other that we do in our living room here. And we get to, you know, hopefully connect with some other people doing that while we're out there. But yeah, it's a wonderful thing. It's really fucking hard though.
Well, and you all have close ties with, you know, a lot of other Denver-based or Colorado-based bands. You know, DJ Williams, Magic Beans, and we love all of them, of course. One thing that tends to come up, you know, in the past when we've talked to artists from other parts of the country is getting to Denver is, right, the thing that their sights are set on that.
Mecca and Medina.
Right. Yeah. Right. And so, I mean, have you found in your experience, your history, the support from the local music community? I mean, is this really that kind of place? You're from here. I mean, I know what other people say. I would love to know, you know, how that's been for you.
Yeah, I would say Denver is a wonderful music community. It is like, I mean, this is where we were able to grow our for sure, our biggest following and most like tight-knit group of fans and friends. And I don't say that lightly. Like the Sqwerv community, we really felt that on the road this time. Is just it feels like we are a little bit of a family, you know. Like we had people move in with us to different shows around the country this time for like 10 plus shows, which is insane. And like it feels like out here was really the origin of that, because, you know, like when we started, we really didn't know what we were doing. We were just figuring it out, and we're just surrounded by a lot of good friends and people that are also musicians out here. Like a lot of our people that have been coming to our shows for years also playing bands. And like Denver has been a real strong source of that. And then getting to experience the Beans community, because, you know, we didn't really we knew who they were, had heard of them, but really didn't know too much about them until we started doing Beanstalk, and then like got to see what they were doing with their festival. And it was like, wow, this is just so cool. This is a gathering of all the people you know and run across in the music scene, but actually get to like hang out with in a really great environment at a festival outside. Like it's a very DIY festival. So there's no, you know, not a lot of that corporate.
Really, is there really no Wi-Fi service? We do a festival previews, like,
oh yeah,
and we did one about Beanstalk, and one of the things we're like, wow, it says no cell phone service. That's cool.
Yeah, there is no cell phone service, but if you really need it, there's some Wi-Fi over at the like rafting cabins thing. But I personally try and use it as little as possible. When I go to Beanstalk, I'm like everyone there is planning to unplug, which is the best part about it. And that community, like when you go to Sqwerv's, like, you know, I'll be there. I'm sure we'll see tons of people that we just know and love and have been to open jams with, and like been going to shows with since like Your Mom's House and Tony P's and stuff. And the community here is really special. Sorry to not get too specific on it, but the community here is awesome. And I think Red Rocks helps with that. Like just the type of music we have, it's really great for the jams being specifically. I think it's a bit of a bubble, though. If I were to connect it to the last question, like touring wise, it sucks because our first drives, anytime we go anywhere, are 8 hours at least to get to your next big market. And then to play a show that day, like we always try and keep it to 6 hours or 6.5 hours or less if we're playing that day of driving, because being in a van for that long, getting out and just going up to really sound check and play sucks. So like Denver, you can't avoid it. You got to go to Omaha or Kansas City or
Vegas.
San Jose. Yeah, Vegas. Vegas is like 10 though, 10 or 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Salt Lake's like an 8-hour
I was gonna say
drive.
Utah, yeah, and even that's far. Like, yeah,
And you got to drive through Utah.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and you got to play in Utah if you're going to Salt Lake to play.
It's pretty
yeah.
there.
If you play Utah, you have to play Dark Side of the Moon in its entirety. It's a new rule.
Yeah, it's a bubble, and we were
Yeah.
told that in school. They're like, you're in a touring bubble here. You're in a really great music scene, but you're really far away from everything else.
Is CU the Berkeley of the West?
Midwest or
No. There's some great musicians that come out of there, but the people that come out of Berkeley are just an absolute another level. Like we meet bands and kids from Berkeley when we go to the East Coast. We're like, Jesus Christ, man, you guys are a different level out there. It's beautiful. They're so talented.
The jam band Illuminati. That's like where they like create all the people.
It's so true. Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. So if I'm trying to pick up a copy of the new album, can I pick up a physical copy?
You can now. Yep. You can get one of hors d'oeuvres as well. We've had a long delay with our printing process. So those are hopefully going to be ready within like the next week or two. But Wonder, we have physical copies. Like we'll have them in Denver at this show. And, if you want one, we could surely send you one. So I know.
You got a website? Would you rather they go to your website, go right to Bandcamp?
Bandcamp is great. We love our Bandcamp, and we have like a subscription thing there where a lot of people seem to love because we give like access to streams after we take them down. Because this tour we started live streaming all our shows just on our own. But yeah, Bandcamp or our website. If you want the physical, if you want actual vinyl, gotta go through our website, or you can probably actually get those on Bandcamp too.
I think you can. I think you can get at least the last one on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Where do you guys live stream your shows to?
What's that?
Where do you guys live stream those shows to?
Our YouTube channel.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Very cool.
We
and
should
then where
talk
do
to you
they
about
live afterwards? Sorry, where do they live afterwards?
So we take them down, and you can only get them if you can only get the video if you're a subscriber on our Bandcamp, and then the audio is always available for free on Bandcamp and Nugs, but Nugs is the whole subscription service. So
that's really cool. So live, you can watch it live on YouTube night of, and then after that, if you subscribe to the Bandcamp, you can watch them whenever. That's really cool.
Exactly.
Right on.
You could do that all in one place with Volume.
What's that?
You could do that all in one place with Volume. Have people subscribe and be able to watch it on Volume. And you
could. You could set it all up there because you can set it up.
If you're interested, I'll send you an email. I love the platform of Volume because I feel like it's the first time that we've been given as a creative entity the freedom to own our content, because whether you know it or not, YouTube will claim they own your content.
Yep. Oh yeah.
At the end of the day, Volume doesn't do that to people. It's in the early stages. It doesn't have comments yet, and you can't like videos, which I feel like is the
It has it live, but it doesn't have it after it's gone live to be able to post comments and stuff in it. But it's very artist friendly, which is really cool about it. They really do care about the artist end of thing and catering to the artist and trying to make sure it's kind of like a Patron for music, but a step above that sort of. And it's really great for like it's a live streaming site. So it's really great for like getting, bars and acts out into the world. It's really cool. So
everything from Nectars before it closed was streamed on Volume.
Oh, so wow.
There's awesome. Our pitch to you for Volume, because we love those guys. And anything you want to throw out before we wrap up?
Buy
tickets ahead of time.
Exactly. Per Brian Moss. Yeah, get your damn pre-sales if you want to see our music. Please, it helps a lot.
DJ Williams got screwed in New York a few months ago.
Nate Williams
put a show on him because tickets weren't being sold.
You said DJ Williams?
Yeah, DJ Williams.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that almost happened to us on this tour. On our last tour, and it ended up being one of our better selling shows. It's just like people make their plans so last minute nowadays, and I don't know whether that's COVID or the economy in general.
The economy.
Whatever.
You don't want to spend $50 now when you got the electric bill to pay, and you hope you have $50 that night to be able to go out or whatever.
Yeah. No, exactly. I think that's all very true.
I mean,
will
you
be
got
in
a new
touch.
fan over on Volume. FH303 says, "Hey, happy to discover this band. So hopefully he'll come check you guys out this weekend." See, already
Awesome.
working.
Yeah. Maybe see you tomorrow playing 8 to 9.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There you go.
I've
There you
been
go. And Fractal Guy says, "Guy, I hope you check out Jake from Eggy. Set up his pedals if you get a chance. Some cool stuff."
Nice. All right, I will. We're hoping he's going to sit in with us. I don't know if it's going to happen.
Nice. Oh, very cool.
I think Donnie, their keys player, is going to play a tune with us at least. So
Awesome, man. Have some great shows. That sounds like a lot of fun. That's
Eventually,
awesome.
what's going to happen is I'll cut some of this out, and it will end up over on YouTube. It'll be live on Volume in a few minutes when we're done. For everybody, but I'll send you the links, and let's stay in touch. We're going to keep our eyes on what you're doing.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah,
appreciate
dude.
it.
Yeah, I can't wait till next year when you're in LA. When you come
Yeah.
through the West Coast, I'll definitely check you out.
We'll be there at the Mint in late January. So
Oh, perfect. I love the Mint. Right down the street. It's close. Convenient.
great.
Awesome.
Well, thank you guys
There
so
you
much.
go.
It was great to meet y'all.
Yeah, you
Awesome.
too, man. Take care. Happy Halloween.
Weekend. Yeah.
All right. I didn't have an outro. Hey,
Oh,
that
good.
worked.
Well,
like that.
Stevie.
That
That
worked.
It's
Oh,
great.
man.
It's
Okay,
great.
so let's you threw something up, T, and I guess
What's up, dog?
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.